Well, first thing I want to do is thank yous for everyone bringing everyone together. First, Vicki and Dave Lavella for definitely need a round of applause for them for organizing this and definitely to Antonio and his staff. The food is absolutely phenomenal. The service has been great. Very, very well done. So, being a best man, it's the highest honor, right? And Mike, I'm honored to be your best man. Thank you for that. Absolutely. And when you're asked to be the best man, you're kind of like, wow, this is really nice. But then you realize, at some point during the night, you're going to have to give a speech. And not only that, but it's in front of people that I don't know, and even scarier, it's in front of people that I do know. So I can definitely use this against me if I mess up. But kind of what I wanted to do here, I didn't really know what to write about, so I was going back and forth. Do I do a comedy act? Do I tell a bunch of embarrassing stories about Mike and his foggy glasses and and basically embarrass him? But I decided this is not the right time and place. But we could talk later if you have any questions. But I was kind of at a loss until I received the wedding invitation, and in front, as you all know, it said, "All the roads led to you." And I thought about that, and I was like, wow, and I thought about Mike's story, and his turny and windy road filled with stop signs and potholes and the high-speed chases and everything in between. I don't know Sarah's road, but obviously it came together as one. But I kind of want to elaborate how these two roads came together in the most unlikely situation, and why we're all here today, basically. But first thing I want to go about talking about is a little Q&A here. So Sarah and Mike, you met in a town that neither of you live in, right?
That's right.
True. You do not have a P.O. box in Breckenridge, right? Okay, so Sarah, what were you doing in Breckenridge?
I went to Breckenridge on a ski trip with my sister Janet for a little just weekend getaway.
And Mike, what were you doing that weekend?
I was at my ski house that I got with Mr. Gold here, just up for another weekend, just to go skiing. That's it.
And Sarah, your sister brought you to Breckenridge for husband hunting, right? No?
No!
So you had no idea that, the guy-to-girl ratio in Breckenridge is 45 to 1. I think that probably cost me. She might have mentioned something like that? Okay. And this was your last night in town, right? You were flying out the next day.
When I met Mike, it was my second night in town. Yes.
I thought it was the last night. Okay, either way, it's still ironic. And Mike, you're a raging alcoholic, right? Like, when you get off from work on Friday, you go to the bars Friday through Sunday, right? True. Mike doesn't drink. So, it's ironic that they met in a place that neither of them live in. Mike doesn't drink alcohol, and it's a 45 to 1 guy ratio. So I'm breaking this down, but that's kind of the fate. When I see fate is all these little things had to be perfect for them to meet in this bar. Oh, by the way, Breckenridge has like 45 bars, 50 bars. So the fact that they met at this one bar was, it's pretty special. And then, so that's the first part of the fate of the story. The second part is. It kind of went going on. Mike told me they met this girl in Breckenridge, and I'm like, yeah, okay. and then a couple of days later, he's like, yeah, I'm keeping in touch with her. And I think you flew down, didn't you? Like, pretty quickly. True. And I was like, what's going on? There must be some kind of connection here. So time goes on, and I forget about it. And a few weeks later, he's like, yeah, I'm still keeping in touch with this girl from Houston. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then he's like, oh, and then my boss from Florida has a promotion for me in Houston. Really? That just doesn't happen. So long story short, Mike obviously takes the promotion to move to Houston. And so we got this guy who doesn't drink, met a girl at a bar in a town they don't live in. Mike gets a job in Houston, promotion nonetheless, and all these things just start coming together like absolutely insane. The whole story is just mind-blowing. And so Mike moves to Houston, they become neighbors, and I don't know about you, but some guy that I met at a bar in Breckenridge, moving to Houston, it's kind of creepy. So, but at the end of the story, obviously, we're all here, and they, she obviously invited him to her home, and Mike fell in love with the two girls, and obviously beautiful Sarah here, and it's just an absolutely amazing love story. But I found a quote from John Lennon that I wanted to quote in here, and it says, "There's nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. There's nowhere you can be where there's nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be." And I truly believe I made this impossible story sound possible, but the fact is that there's a 100% chance of you two meeting that night, 100% chance of Mike getting his job in Houston, and 100% chance that you guys are going to have a happy, loving marriage. So let's all raise our glasses. And toast to the bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. Michael Bella.
I was meant to be. 45 to 1. I can't wait for dinner.